What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, Lifestyles Defined. Welcome back to another episode of AMA. If you're new here, you don't know how this works, you ask your question in the comment section down below, and we answer it in upcoming videos. Today's question comes from Kyle. What's good, homie? Quick question, more about the Xbox One. But why doesn't Microsoft or 2K not make a baseball game like MLB The Show? I know the RBI baseball, but that's an arcade game. I want a simulator. Any thoughts on why this haven't happened yet? So this is a good question for Snow, who's over at Ignorant Gamers, and I'll pipe this over to him so he can also get you a separate video, and no doubt will be a mind-blowing answer, because that's what that man does. He blows minds. But actually, look at that. Gaming ruined my life. I'm wearing my Gaming Ruined My Life t-shirt right here. Shout out to Ignorant Gamers. Link is in the description down below. That is our gaming channel. Endless amounts of shameless plugging going on right now. But I don't know why this happened exactly. What I will say is that these companies are they're becoming mindful of where they spend their money, and when you do that, you start to look at the figures and the analytics to figure out if it makes sense to even compete. So back in the day, we had the late 90s, early 2000s, you had a plethora of options. You had like 4 or 5 baseball games, you had 4 or 5 NFL games, 4 or 5 basketball games. Like, it was amazing, and we all had our favorite, right? Like when you looked in the football genre, a lot of people's favorites was Madden, right? And then you had the 2K that was coming up and kicking their ass. But there was a lot. There was NFL Fever. Microsoft had one in there somewhere. Konami had. Everyone had a football game, and it was this world where if you made sports games, you made sports games for every genre, and that was so cool. Basketball, you had NBA Live, you had NBA in the Zone, and you later had 2K. And it's interesting to see how these things end up, because a lot of the number one today is the only one today. So there is no other basketball game but 2K. I mean, sure, NBA Live been trying to make a comeback, but you see how that's going, right? And it's not only about a popularity contest, it's just not anywhere as good as 2K. And then in the football world, well, EA just went and did the scumbag shit and bought the rights to NFL, and they just killed the entire genre altogether. So there's only Madden, right? I don't think that's the case with the baseball. I think Sony just murdered the game with that MLB The Show. Like, there was nothing anywhere as close. It was like you went to sleep one day, you had EA making a baseball game. There was one other one I forgot, and of course there was Sony, and then you woke up and Sony's game was just so much better than everything else. So there's that, and I think it's just like whatever we have now is what we have now. It's where we ended up, right? And it's so unfortunate, because as a consumer, you want to see competition. You want to see these guys fighting for your money, because at the end of the day, that's where the progression comes in. That's where you get all the good features, and you make sure people are on top of their game. If you look at the back and forth between Call of Duty and Battlefield, that's what keeps these games so good every year or every other year, whenever they do come out. It's because of the constant competition. And if you look at Madden for a while has been like, the only reason you really buy Madden is to get the new roster updates, right? And it sucks because they had no competition for a long time, and they were getting lazy. They were falling asleep at the wheel, and that type of thing happened. And then there's 2K, who isn't the status quo. 2K, even though they had no competition, they continued to push the boundaries every year, and they gave you dope games every single year. So that was cool. Shout out to Take-Two on that. But in terms of the baseball, I feel like it could be partially the conversation that whoever's number one is number one, and you just can't compete, you can't catch up. There's no market for a number 2. And also they look at the numbers. These games have huge development prices or price tags behind them. Is it worth it to spend these millions and millions of dollars to develop an engine and do all of this and do all of that and licensing, acquisition fees to just be number 2 by a long shot? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to get back in the game and you're going to bite that bullet and where MLB The Show gets a 10 out of 10 and you come out with your, swinging for the fences and you spend all this money and then you get on IGN and you see a 6 out of a 10, like, whoa, right? Because that's what EA is going through right now with the NBA Live, and I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know if they're gonna keep trying, but it's definitely hard out here for that situation. But it's interesting to see that you want another game. Why would you want another game though? If MLB is just that good. Actually, you know what? I take it back. You said on the Xbox, because MLB is a PlayStation exclusive, and I think it's a damn good reason to go out and get a PlayStation. If you haven't done so by this already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Obviously, you're a baseball fan, and obviously you have an Xbox. But I mean, yo, if you want to play what you want to play, brother, you go out and get that PlayStation. Thank you so much for your question. As mentioned earlier, leave your questions in the comment section below. We will answer them in upcoming videos. My name is Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace. If I had to describe Lifestyles Defined, I would say it is a dream come true to have a platform where we can talk about the things that we love and we can share with people who also love the things we love the way we love, and just have conversations that matter and go back and forth and grow as a community. It's been a pleasure. It's been a dream, and I just want to thank everyone that's involved for rocking out with us.